This video is sponsored by Describe. Welcome to part 2 of the video where I build my first Pathfinder character. If you haven't checked out the other video yet, go click on it here. But I'll also give you a quick refresher. My brother-in-law Danny pitched us a Pathfinder campaign where we would be members of a noble house. My character, Castor, is one of the young lords of this house, and he's a sorcerer who has developed magic powers because he was born on the same night that a strange new land known as the Vale appeared in the middle of the country. The other player characters are my character's brother-in-law and our combat training instructor. Now, this is something I've given a lot of thought about as we were preparing for the campaign, when I was filling out these questions on the character sheet, even as I played through the first few roleplay heavy sessions. I'm very wary of the fact that my character could easily suffer from main character syndrome. And more than that, because of Castor's standing in the house and his link to the mysterious magical world that we're going to be exploring and adventuring in, there's a real chance that the campaign itself could wind up revolving around Castor in a way that turns the other player characters into his supporting characters. And that's not something I'd like to see happen. That's not the point. This is one of the reasons I made sure to change my dynamic with Prestidigio, my character's brother-in-law, so that it would be friendly and not antagonistic. Because while some player versus player character conflict can be a ton of fun, it's actually one of my favorite things to do in RPGs, I also don't want to put the players into a situation that will make my character even more central to the plot and reduce their impact. So by making sure my character already respects their characters, hopefully that cuts down on that risk. So once I created my backstory for the character, which I talked about in the last video, I then went to create the character himself using Pathbuilder, which is a completely free website you can use to make Pathfinder character sheets. It's like D&D Beyond, except, like I said, it's completely free. Now, for this character creation process, I was live on Twitch, so we're going to go jump over and watch that process in action. And then I'll come back and cover some other final details about the character. Aloexer says, do I have Secrets of Magic book? There's an archetype in it called the Wellspring Mage, which might be really useful for flavor reasons. Mechanically, it's kind of like Wild Magic. Secrets of Magic, yeah, I do. I think we're keeping with just core rulebook this first time, because A, as Princess Salami said, it's a little easier for learning purposes. But also, I have, like, 2 backup characters. So coming back to some of these other concepts later on might be more beneficial to help make those characters feel more distinct, is what I'm thinking. Alright, I think it's time to make some characters. So, Castor. There's genealogy and there's heraldry. Oh, I see. Those are the different skills. What is the difference between genealogy and heraldry? I'm sure one of you can answer probably faster than I can find it. Oh, it's lore. Oh, okay. Genealogy versus heraldry. Okay. What makes more sense for him to know? If he's been studying... No, you know what? He's trying to figure out where his magic comes from. He's studying... Genealogy has been much more the focus of his study. That's what we're going with. He's not a fighter. He is a sorcerer. So there's either... Humanity's versatility and ambition have fueled its ascendance to become the most common ancestry in most nations throughout the world. It's like a general feat of your choice for which you meet the prerequisites. Or skilled heritage. Your ingenuity allows you to become trained in a wide variety of skills. Well, I have to look at the feats to make that decision. Seems like a lot of these feats are going to give me training in something anyway. So yeah, we'll go with, What's Winter Touch? Power of winter flows through you. No, I don't think that's right. Okay. Set abilities. The booster, how I get my stats. Got it. Okay, so. Charisma. I see it. I can only go to each one a certain number of times, it seems. Okay. Intelligence, dexterity, constitution. Oh, skill training. Society +5. What else would he know? Deception. And religion. General feat. Ooh, so many options. Okay. No arcane tattoos, but boy, that could be interesting for his sister. Ooh. You critically fail a diplomacy check, reroll using a result. Sure, that sounds good. Powerful ego makes it harder for others to order you around. That's interesting. Maybe. Ooh, that's cool. So, you could, like, basically, if you make a save, not make it the creature know that they've made the save. Interesting. You know what? I think I'm actually going to do this one. Know oneself. You roll a critical failure on a saving throw against an emotion effect. You center yourself and call to mind the monastic ideals of mindfulness and self-knowledge. You fail to save against the emotion instead of critically failing. because I'm traveling with a monk. I think it would be cool if that's what he's taught me so far. Yeah, I think know oneself or keep up appearances are both good. I'm going to stick with know oneself right now. Drop-down menus, which are currently set as strength and dex for your ancestry. I see. Okay. Oops, not intelligence. Charisma and con. And I'm actually going to bump background boosts. I'm going to put that into charisma as well. Because he's a charisma master and he's not done anything else with his life. So that's all he can do, essentially. All right. General fee. Prerequisites, trained in a recall knowledge action. You're a treasure trove of information. Not all of that comes from reputable sources. When you fail, but not critically fail, a recall knowledge check using any skill. You learn a bit of true knowledge and a bit of erroneous knowledge. You don't have any way to differentiate which is which. Maybe. If I had a knowledge in, like, monsters, for sure. But I don't think I do right now. Ooh, when I make an impression, you can compare diplomacy check result to the will DC of 2 targets instead of 1. It's possible to get different degree of success for each target. That's interesting. I like that. Probably that one. I understand. I knew that people would be giving me advice, so, like, feel free to give advice. I just don't know if it will make the most sense to me because I don't know the game yet. I'm gonna go with group impression. I think that's interesting. Do I get a bloodline? I don't think so. Or no, I do because is this a sorcerer thing? I think it is, right? Yeah, Princess Salami, recognized spell would be great for Calliope. That's very much what I'm thinking as well. Just don't... I think the one that makes the most sense is either Aberrant or Fey. And I like Fey... I like Ghost Sound, because I remember Ghost Sound from 4th edition. Ghost Sound does feel like the kind of thing he would have learned to control, like learned how to do. So that... And since he's used the Feywild as a point of reference for what the Veil is like, I've always kind of figured Fey would work. I think it does. I don't know what Fairy Dust does, but we'll get there. Okay, he's only level 1, so don't worry about any of the rest of this. Alright, what do I get? You get Primal Spell List for Fey and Occult from Aberrant. Okay, interesting. Right, I get 5 cantrips and 3 first level spells. Okay, got it. So, Read Aura. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Okay, so if we do... got Stabilize, Read Aura. What else we got? I need some sort of damage ability, so Acid Splash is tempting. I feel like we got 3 humans. I should probably learn a light spell. Oh, I just get Primal. Oh, I see. That makes sense. It's on Arcane. Every spell is on 2 lists. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So yeah, I think Electric Arc is really cool. Stabilize. That's cool. Stabilize seems super useful. Okay, and then I get, hang on. Start with my Bloodline spell, Charm. That works. I know there's some I'm going to regret not taking, because that's the problem with playing a sorcerer, any kind of spellcaster, really. Oh my gosh, I can heal. That's cool. Okay. I kind of accidentally chose what I love about spellcasters, which is a class that can also heal. Okay, that's awesome. Alright, is there anything else that I get as I level up, or as I make a character? How does gear work? I think we have a character. Castor Kale. Cool. Ooh, alignments. Lawful neutral. For now. Alignment is dead. Long live edicts and anathemas. Yeah, didn't I see that they are actually taking alignment out at the next version of Pathfinder? That's interesting. I obviously can't speak to how that actually interacts with the game, having not played it. I don't know. I like alignment. I like it fine. You know? I think it's interesting. Oh, interesting. All characters are proficient in shields. Oh my. Oh, there's so many shields. Okay. Holy moly. What are these? Wow, so shields really matter in this game, huh? Okay, well, you know what? That's a great way to make it matter. The basic shields are steel and wooden. Okay, got it. Listen, it's only 1 more gold. Aha. And it automatically takes it out of my gear. Okay, that's cool. Okay, that's simple. You know, I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know what I'm going to need, really. We'll find out, you know? We'll find out. Right now, I have to sort of approach this with the perspective of D&D because it's all I know. At least that's all I've played in a very long time. But you bring up a good point. We're at this point, we might as well just, I should just look at the Sorcerer Kit and see what's in it. Adventurers Pack, backpack, bedroll, 2 pouches, chalk, flint and steel, rope, soap, torches, water skin. Yeah, nothing too crazy in there. So, 2 gold, 3 silver, 2 copper. Done. Have I checked out my focus spell? No. I don't know what that is. What's a focus spell? Oh, I see. Focus spells. Fairy dust. Oh, yes. Yes, they did mention that this was coming. Sprinkle magical dust in the spell's area, making those within easier to trick. Okay, cool. Good catch. I forgot about that. I do still need to... Okay, this will help, though. I think I still need to sit down and, like, go through the rules for how sorcerers work as they're presented in here, but being able to kind of look at the sheet... Y'all, I think that's it. I mean, we just streamed for, what, 2 hours? We've made a character. I think that's a very productive day. That was fun, wasn't it? And then, here's the thing. After I made the character, after I signed off of Twitch, I realized there was a backstory question that I had planned to come back to after I made the character, but I forgot to answer it. The question was, how did Castor's powers first manifest? Did this cause problems? And honestly, I never even thought about this question again, even after the first few sessions, so let's do that now. Let's answer that question. First of all, what are Castor's cantrips? Those are the first spells he would have learned, and I think they would have manifested naturally without him trying to go and learn magic. I'm a sucker for superhero movies, so scenes where somebody discovers their powers that they develop in childhood and then those powers lead to some sort of shenanigans, those are right up my alley. Castor has the following cantrips. Read Aura, which is Pathfinder's version of Detect Magic. Stabilize, which is like Spare the Dying. Light, which makes light. Electric Arc, which sends a bolt of lightning at a target, and then that lightning jumps to another target. And Ghost Sound, which makes a small auditory effect. I think the first to develop was probably light. Castor was afraid of the dark, and eventually realized he could conjure light. But some of the times that he tried to conjure light, he ended up accidentally creating an electric arc instead, so he might make a mess and ruin something in his bedroom, and the staff would have to come in and clean it up. We know from the backstory questions I covered in the other video that the staff would have been aware of his secret growing up, purely because he was bad at hiding it, and sometimes he needed people to help clean up his mess. I think Castor and Calliope probably both developed Read Aura, so as they were manifesting their magic, they recognized the same power in each other. I'm picturing the moment in the first Spider-Verse movie where Miles and Peter's spider senses resonate off of each other and they recognize each other as equals. I think Calliope basically then turned their powers into a game, which was her way of bringing Castor out of his shell, as much as he ever did, and learning to properly control his powers. So they would run around the house using their powers to prank each other and causing mischief while trying not to get caught or let anybody know that they had magic. So this is how he developed Ghost Sound to try to fool her. Yes, they could both read auras, so it was a tough game to actually try to fool each other. But eventually, maybe when the twins were 7 or 8, I think some wounded soldiers were brought back to House Kale, including one of Castor's brothers or sisters. Not Leander, the oldest, but maybe the 4th or 5th in line. Someone who people don't typically expect as much from politically, so they would have sought glory in battle. Let's go with another Greek name to match the naming convention we have so far. So this is Evangeline, the 5th oldest child. She was badly hurt, and Castor, along with the rest of the family, was brought to see her before she died. But thanks to him holding on to her, he was accidentally, unconsciously able to channel magic that stabilized her. This is also basically how the family discovered Castor's and Calliope's powers, and things were never the same with their father after that. This created a distance between Castor and his father, which Castor has never really been able to fully understand. So Danny, if you're watching this, I finally answered that question, and I added this answer to the Google Doc as well. So thank you so much for your patience. Also, at the beginning of the first session, we got ourselves set up on Foundry VTT, so I had to move this character sheet over to Foundry, which none of us had ever used before. We just got really burnt out on Roll20's issues, and Foundry had been highly recommended, so we're using that platform to play the game. Now, I am not an expert yet in Pathfinder. I still need to sit down and read through the book and familiarize myself with the rules a lot more than I already have. Likewise, I'm still getting used to Foundry as well. But thanks to the process of putting this character sheet together with the Twitch chat, I was in a better position to be able to recreate this character successfully because I knew how I'd gotten the previous results. I still don't know the system as well as I know 5e D&D, but I'm learning. And we've played a few sessions so far, and I am really enjoying the game. And I think it's really funny that as we're playing a game that is stereotypically thought of as being more complex than 5e, we've jumped into a setting and a campaign that involves more political complexity. I just think that's cool. Of course, part of the issue with switching systems is adjusting to the new expectations. For example, I'm sure something I've said in one of these videos is not necessarily accurate for the expectations of Pathfinder, because I'm coming to the game with different biases and assumptions than the game makes. But thankfully, there are a ton of awesome ideas that can work in either system, because cool ideas are setting agnostic. And if you need some help getting ideas, or just better ways to express your ideas at the game table, check out today's sponsor, Describe. Describe is an incredible resource that creates pre-written flavor text you can use for monsters, NPCs, locations, player character descriptions, spells, or even lines of dialogue. And they have a cool selection of maps that you can drop into your game, and a library of music and sound effects to add atmosphere. And a Describe subscription also offers you access to Foundry versions of maps and music, so you can drop all this awesome content directly into your Foundry campaign. And Describe is offering a discount to the viewers of this channel. If you visit describe.com/supergeek and use the promo code SUPERGEEK, you could save 10% off of your first subscription payment. Once again, that's dscryb.com/supergeek and use the promo code SUPERGEEK for 10% off your first subscription payment. Thank you so much to Describe for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. I plan to keep featuring more game systems in the future, but it really helps to know that people will actually support these videos when they come out, so liking and sharing will help this video do well and help encourage me to make more videos like it in the future. I've got another Pathfinder video coming out next week, so make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss it. You can support me on Patreon. I've got some awesome Patreon exclusive content coming very soon, including another live stream to resume the world building process for my new campaign setting. Make sure to join my Discord server to hang out with other awesome people in the TTRPG community. You can hang out on a social media platform without worrying about exceeding a rate limit. Wouldn't that be nice? Follow me on Twitch to catch more live streams like this one. I actually have a bunch of upcoming character creation live streams coming up, plus I'm playing Hades, which is a ton of fun, so come follow me on there. And make sure to sign up for my newsletter for the latest updates. For more thoughts about character origins and explanations, check out my video about whether or not adventurers are inherently supernatural. Until next time, play fair and have fun.